Alright, time to give these a try. These ones. Easy links to joining two wires together with inbuilt solder and heat shrink. So it says just push them together and apply lots of heat. The solder melts and you get a beautiful joint. Let's just see how it goes. Plenty of heat, solder's not melting, plastic's melting, plastic's going hard and brittle. Come on baby, you can do it. It's taken a lot of heat. I don't think that's solder, I think that's iron. Plastic's given up completely and burned away, and the solder still hasn't melted. So, yep, the whole thing's on fire. Finally the solder's melted, but the plastic's already gone. So, that is useless. And we got a lovely dry joint there that's not even a solder joint. Guess where they came from, says the guy who's putting an MG into a Porsche. These are going straight in the bin. Need more heat. This old iron's had it. Now, having done the wiring to the electric brake pump, I found a nice place to mount it here, under the guard, out of the way, in the front of the Porsche. That, of course, is the MG's electric vacuum pump, because the Porsche used vacuum from the engine. So we're getting vacuum from this vacuum line here. There's our vacuum pressure switch, and that's the MG's brake fluid level, which I've just left there. We don't actually need it because we've got the original Porsche one. But let's power it up and see if this thing works. Looks better with the centre on the steering wheel too, doesn't it? Okay, power up. Away we go. Ah, I hear it. Perfect, it's working. Alright, now you remember how if we got dry and put our foot on the accelerator and gave it a little turn, the wheels go forwards and then they go backwards again. Why does it do that? I figured it out. The KERS system's working. KERS level 3, KERS level 2, no KERS. A little bit of throttle. And it goes forwards, but doesn't go backwards. So that's good. You know what that means? That means it's actually getting the KERS signal from the motor speed, not from the wheel speed. And that means even without the wheel speed sensors on, the KERS system, the energy recovery system, still works. And that's why the wheels went backwards, because I had maximum regen. Which is really cool, because think about it, if you've got maximum regen on, but you're going down a steep hill and you lift off the throttle, you do actually want the car to slow down. Its inertia and gravity might be encouraging it to keep speeding up, but it'll actually apply a little bit of reverse thrust to get it to actually slow down and give you the regen. I could actually leave the wheel speed sensors disconnected and the regen should still work. That explains when we first took it for a run up without the wheel speed sensors, and you lifted off the throttle, it showed power, and then it showed negative power. Certainly lively. It was actually applying reverse thrust. Very good. Now, if you remember, when the wheel speed sensors were disconnected in the MG, the little motor still had enough torque to spin those old hard square tyres at 50 k's an hour. But in the rear-wheel drive Porsche, I'm sure it won't spin, it'll grip instead. And I haven't set my expectations too high, but I can hardly wait to find out how well it does pull. This is interesting. From the crash module, it thinks all the front driver's seat buckles are done up. Three and a half ohm, correct. That's one of the resistors I put in. So I fitted little resistors in place of airbag modules. Now that we've fitted a new crash module, the SDM, I'm expecting heaps of errors about airbags and pretensioners and seatbelt buckles and door locks. But despite having none of these things fitted, all good. It seems we're pretty well good to go. Please, I've got a tip for you. Never use a multimeter to test your airbag's resistance to see what they're meant to be. Use a diagnostic tool instead, or ask someone, but you never measure an airbag with a multimeter because it could go off, which would be bad. VCU, what have we got? Inhibit cruise, okay, don't mind that. Gateway, cruise controls out of range, fine. Parking brake, yeah. Open line detected on the parking brakes, yes, I've disconnected them. ABS, it can't talk to the steering. Cruise control problems, autonomous or emergency braking problems, fine. Not bad, nothing to stop the car from driving. Feeling quite pleased. We've obviously got a little vacuum leak up the front. You can hear the vacuum motor going constantly, but going well. So let's extend the wiring the old-fashioned way. Soldering, heat shrink and cloth tape. And no, don't get cross with me. The electrical tape is just for marking wires while I'm working on them, not for connections. Well, I'm pleased to say the weather's warming up. Now the nice thing about having no plan is that you can change plans anytime you like. Now as you might remember, I thought I'd have the charging socket down here, but I actually need this space for the cooling, and it's not very elegant, so I think I'll put it back in the fuel filler cap. It's a much more logical place, I'm sure you'll agree. So to do that, the high voltage leads will reach, but the low voltage ones won't, so I've got to extend them. So all these little leads here. If you're tempted to buy these things, don't. This is. Can you make me up a lovely stainless plate to cover that, to make that look more attractive?
Sure.
You're a champion.
Can do.
Now, rather than come up with a complicated hinge arrangement, which is really ugly, because the original hinge was on this side, but it can't go there because it'll interfere with the handle. And we can't, if you turn it around the other way and use that hinge, it's not the right shape because it's not rectangular. It's oblique. Oh, that kind of works, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it might actually go.
But you won't get a DC charger in there.
Do they bend the same way?
It's a much it's a much wider handle, so it definitely won't work.
Yep.
So how about, with these covers on, why don't we just attach them to the inside of that, get rid of the hinge completely, shave them back, glue them on, and it's a nice tight fit. You can just squeeze on with just a little retainer cables in case it falls out. What do you reckon?
Yeah, a couple of magnets even to help hold it in.
Perfect. And can you etch? Can you laser etch?
We can laser etch, yep. Put something on there.
Koya works.
We can put anything.
Or EV8.
Yep. Put it all.
I'll leave that up to you.
It super fine.
Okay.
That'll make it sharp.
And you know what?
Oh, can we involve, like you said, that LED?
Oh, the breathing panel.
Can we put, like, LEDs in that plate?
Yeah. So this is the breathing thing. You can see it pulsing right now because it is actually charging. All that is, it's simply a voltage that's going up and down between 0 volts and 12 volts to run a couple of LEDs. So we can put our own LEDs in there.
Yeah, we can put some in the plate. Oh yeah, I see. That's clever. We could definitely put something in there, you know.
So we are charging. Brilliant. You're a genius.
Working.
Okay, so that's a lovely idea, and you'd never know it's not an original Porsche one. We're making progress. My wiring worked.
Wiring works. Looks nice with the wrapped.
Yeah, that's nice. That I like that cloth wrap that I put on it.
Yeah.
So we've got a big day planned, and I was about to push it into the workshop, and Matt said, "No, just drive it." Are you mad? The brake pedal's almost on the floor. The park brake isn't even connected. What could possibly go wrong? Let's find out, he said. So the plan is, if it all goes haywire, I just put it back in neutral.
Yep.
And try the brake pedal.
Sure.
Okay. I'll sit on this comfy cushion here. Hello.
Alright.
You want to come along too, do you?
Well, I'll get ready for the battery just in case.
I can reach that to pull it off.
Yeah?
If I have to.
Alright.
Yeah. Most of all, only one of us gets hurt.
No one's getting hurt, that's it.
Front brake pedal. Okay, start. Start. Drive. Oh. Viewer.
battery's just got a scrape, but it's the back of it. We've got the front over, so
Okay.
just creep forward a bit more, keep going. It's probably going to touch winner.
How exciting is that? So what did we learn? The brakes actually work. A little bit of a pump, but they actually did stop the car when it was in drive. Interestingly, the brake booster's not doing its thing.
Oh yeah. Have you got assistance?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, maybe it was a bit sticky or something, you know?
Isn't that funny? It's actually, the brake booster's actually working. I've got a pedal.
Yeah.
It's not the greatest pedal. It needs a bleed, but it...
So just steer in the centre of the hoist.
Oh.
Just go this way. Now you're going to have to jump the gap. Okay. That's it. Now come steer to me a bit.
Gee, the throttle's progressive.
Yep, keep creeping.
It's so progressive on the throttle. It really drives nicely.
Just go straight now with the wheels.
Straight now?
Yeah. Okay, stop there. Okay, if you want to creep forward a bit skewed,
Okay.
you're going to jump onto a bit of wood, so you might want to...
Okay, get away from me.
Yeah. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Bit more. Okay, hold it there. Yeah, creep back.
Okay, reverse.
Yep, that's it, hold it there. Okay,
That didn't sound good. Man, boy, it's got some drag. When you put it in drive, it takes a bit of brake to stop it.
does it? Yeah.
Yeah, too much, really.
Yeah, okay. That's it. It's so controlled, wasn't it?
It
was like,
it
I could hear the motor when you were throttling
yeah,
it.
it's very progressive on the throttle.
Yep.
But it's still dragging, you know, put it in drive and it's off. I've got
Yeah.
to really hold it on the brake.
Yep. I guess once we bed these brakes in, do all that kind of stuff, and probably bleed them again, it'll improve. So
Yeah. Oh, well, that was exciting. Hope you enjoyed that, viewer. Our first drive.
Yeah.
So let's push it on. You said, no, let's drive it on. I said, yeah, you're kidding, right?
it was stress free. There was no, you know, like crazy.
Ah, swap, crash,
Yeah,
bang.
you know.
Would have been an amazing video.
Oh,
But thankfully it wasn't.
it sounded from the back. It just sounded, you know, I could hear the little, the whine.
The drive shaft's at the right angle as well because it's
Yep.
quite heavy in the back now. It's heavier
Yeah.
in the back now than it will be when it's finished.
Yep.
So it's sitting relatively low, so the drive shafts are at a nice angle.
It now identifies as a car.
Not as a Labrador anymore,
No.
it's a car. It's a car! Okay, powering down. And the brakes came on.
Yep.
Except they're not connected to the rotors, so
Yeah.
they just clamped onto thin air.
Yeah,
But
which
apart
would
from,
be so good once we got them on.
yeah, you can see them back there in the shot. I wonder how low it is. Let's have a look. Yep, I'd say that's pretty low. Battery box.
Yeah, it'll sit in a little cradle so it can't slide back and forth or side to side. And got a little clamp for it there.
Just so people know, this is not the passenger compartment here. This is engine compartment. And engine compartment ends about where that yellow strap is, doesn't it? That'll be...
Yeah.
Now looking at cooling system, I reckon a single... What do you reckon? A Honda EG Civic radiator?
I think a Civic will fit because they're like half-size radiators.
Yeah. They're 465 long, 360 deep, which should just be perfect in there at a diagonal, and it can suck its air through. I think that'll be good. Oh, you're just making a space so you can put a riv nut in there.
Yeah, just so this clamps to steel, not actual. This will like sink
Yep.
eventually, come loose.
So on that tray we're going to have to mount communications controller, the ABS controller, 2 fuse boxes, the battery and the VCU. Kind of, okay. Around here, this is my workbench here. And if you're concerned about my work environment, working on the bonnet, don't be. Look at this. It's going to be repainted. As you can see, it's not in great condition. Looking good, Stu? All right. You gonna make some sparks? Oh, that's good. While he's working, I'm eating.
tidy him up a bit.
Yeah, getting rid of the nasty.
Yeah, just the sharp edges.
Nice. It already had a nasty little hole at this end, so I can't do anything about that.
Yeah. Right, if you would. That's right.
Oh, mate, look at that.
Yeah.
40 years old, 4 years old.
Yeah, it's
Thank you.
next level.
This whole car is next level. I mean, this is bizarre. I mean, look at that. See that hole there? One there. You'd think that's the way they made it in Zuffenhausen 40 years ago. But this came from made in China. And it'll just sort of slot in there. And look how that fits when it comes forward. Okay, so I see you put a nice clamp over the top.
Yep, clamp requirement for rego. So
Do you keep them in stock, do you?
yeah, just keep a clamp for that width battery,
Okay.
and it's gone through a 5mm plate there, so it's nice and thick, and it's got
Real nuts.
plates on either side, so it can't go forward or back or side to side.
Okay.
So it's sitting in a little cradle.
I love this engineering design on the fly where you just go,
Yeah, we've got nothing on. Everything's round. You know, that's got to be mounted. It's just loose at the moment, but it's, you know, that's all curved this way and that way, and none of the floor pan's flat, so you've got to bend and bend and bend, and we'll build off that. And this will just be a big bracket that has the battery, the fuse box, and
what about the other fuse box?
yeah, we can probably put that in front.
You can just mount pretty much where I had it. It's off the floor.
Yeah, that works because it's not in the way of the seat.
I've never seen a car with so many fuses. Look, there's 30 in there, and there's 50 in there, and there's another 35 in the Porsche one. I'm going to have a sale on eBay of fuses.
So the battery finishes there on that wall,
Yeah.
and the big loom comes out there.
Yeah.
So there's enough room, space for that to come out. Loom comes out there, there's plenty of space, so.
I keep changing my mind about this. This was the spot that the old digital clock was on the Porsche, but it just looks untidy. It just looks like it was made for something else, which it was. So we're just going to lose this bit here, trim this up, tidy that up, and then I can put my carbon sheet there on the top, and it'll be flush, nice and flush all the way down to there. That's a bit ugly. It looks like it was made for something else, which it was, so I think we might trim that up. I might just relieve that along there. And the original Porsche central canal unit there. It looks excellent. It's really good. There's a little, don't forget there's these little low voltage thing goes between the two, but that can go under the clamp to get to that one.
Yeah.
There's the front one there, so you can just go under the clamp there. Wow, it's beautiful.
Yeah, come out alright.
Not your first rodeo.
No, I just like it took what's it taken all day just to make
Oh well.
12 bits of metal welded together, but
Eventually we're going to have to seal all these holes to the outside world. On the other hand, this is all engine compartment. It doesn't need to be sealed to the outside world.
no.
It needs to be sealed to the inside world. That was fun.
Yeah.
Set the foam on fire, but hey, go out.
So it's all pretty compact. Battery will get in, but our leads don't need to be extended for any of it, and they'll all be out of the way.
You're worth your weight in gold. Right, I'll need a key. Okay. the cushion. Power. And lights. I've got some vacuum. Okay, we ready?
Might just have to give it a little bit stew to get over that bump.
It takes a lot of brake to stop it.
Yeah, just go down.
And then stop it on top?
Yeah, or once you get over. Well, that was it. Couldn't have done better. That was perfect.
I didn't even push the accelerator.
That's good. You're right to creep out.
Creeping.
That's it, yeah. It was just taking a bit of paint off the ground.
Because it looks good at this time of day. Nose in the air. Looks like a drag car.
That's it, yeah, go a little more.
Alright, so what are the next big jobs? Well, as fun as it would be to go down to Cars and Coffee and show off that big empty bonnet, we're not going to get very far with that battery hanging down there, like the proverbial rover's gonads. So Matt the fabricator is going to be very busy building a new battery box up front. And then we'll get the weight balance right and give it some stance. And the other big job? Designing the cooling systems. 2 of them. One for the drivetrain, one for the battery. That's going to be fun as well. So as always, thank you for watching. If you've got any questions or suggestions, please let us know in the comments. See you next time. Typical GoPro. Stop, turn off, whatever. Yeah. Who the knows what it's doing?